Mother's Boys, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Mother's Boys is a 1993 horror film, or a thriller, depending on how you look at it, but either way, it was produced by Miramax. The film is about a sociopath named Jude Madigan, who tries to reclaim her family after abandoning them for 3 years. Jamie Lee, Jamie Lee, Jamie Lee. That was a very good performance as the sociopath. First of all, the movie opens up with a weird theme song, and then it starts talking about frogs and how frogs abandon their young. Now, when the Michael Myers fanatic first saw this movie, he was thinking to himself, what does that have to do with anything? Now, yeah, I know you're saying fanatic. Well, the frogs abandon their young like she abandoned her young. Yeah, that's true. But you're forgetting one thing. You're comparing a real live human being to a frog, you idiot. Now, as the movie opens up, you meet all three of the kids, all three of the little jabronis. There's Kes, Michael, and I forgot the other one's name. And then you meet the principal, but her nickname is Callie. Anyway, this review is not going to be very long. Basically, long story short, Judith has this strange bond with her son. I don't know what the bond is. I've spoken to Jesse Wagner about it. He says he doesn't know what it is. But there's obviously some kind of connection between the two of them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Kes wouldn't come out of her right away when she was born. He was stuck inside of her. Maybe that's what it is. But there's, some kind of strange thing going on between them. I don't know what it is. Basically, Judith comes back. She's jealous because Robert has moved on with his life. And she starts doing things to the family. She spray paints the word whore on the principal's car. And as the time goes on, she tries to brainwash Kes into getting rid of Callie to restore her family. Now, I thought the connection was weird. But here's where it takes the cake. This is where it gets even weirder. There's a scene in the movie where, okay, first of all, I don't even want to go there. I want to tell you about this first. When Judith meets the principal, she takes a glass picture, slams it on her head, cuts her forehead, and says the principal did it. And by the way, there's a scene where Kes stabs a frog. And he's having temper tantrums because basically his mother isn't perfect. Well, to all the little boys and girls that are angry at their parents because their parents left them or whatever, I got news for you. Parents aren't perfect. They make mistakes. They're not perfect. Nobody ever said that mommy or daddy was perfect, because they're not. They're just not. That's the way it is. Oh, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Or she wasn't there. She wasn't there. I got news for you. Like I said, parents aren't perfect. They make mistakes. You're going to go around stabbing frogs because mommy wasn't there? Oh, well, What did you think? You were special? And like I said, I know I keep dwelling on this, but the mom was weird. What is it with Judith and Kes? She barely paid any attention to him, to the other kids. She was basically focused on Kes. Why? That's just strange. Now, the thing that took the cake with me, she calls Kes into the bathroom with her while she's naked. I really don't know what to say. I don't. Long story short, Judith comes up with this crazy idea to tie Callie up until 10 o'clock. I never understood what was so special about 10 o'clock. But basically, we find out that Judith was very close to her father, and her father died when she was like 14 or something like that. I don't know if something was going on between her and her father. Like maybe they were making out with each other. I don't know. But the grandmother insinuated that something might have been going on between her and the father. I don't know what that is. I don't know if she was making out with her father. I don't know what was going on with Judith and her dad. I really don't. I don't know what to say about that. But the grandmother kept saying that the father was wicked, or that Judith was wicked. I don't know. So that led me to believe that they were probably having sex, because the grandmother kept saying that she had to keep her away from the father. So I don't know what she meant by that. So I can't really draw too many conclusions from that. I don't know what was going on between her and her dad. Maybe they were making out, maybe they weren't. I don't know. But like I said, long story short, Judith ends up causing one of her kids to get hurt, and then they basically have to run to the hospital. The car swerves off the road, and Callie ends up having to save the children, and Jude falls off the cliff and she dies. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. I didn't really go into too much detail with this movie because all it focused on was Kes and his mom. And that was just weird. I don't get it. It was weird. What the heck was wrong with her? Anyway, I'm the Michael Myers fanatic. I approve this message. Be sure to check out Mother's Boys, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Goodbye.